Carlos Nelson with Cascade Sports, and today we have one of our local athletes that play for Center High School, is a wide receiver, Mr. Jeffrey Strozier. This past week, he was substituting for their injured quarterback and played the quarterback position. How are you doing, Jeffrey?
I'm good.
Hey, Jeffrey, tell our audience a little bit about yourself. My audience don't know you. Tell them a little bit about who you are. And I like to say, go back to kindergarten or when you first start playing football, and give the props to some of the coaches and people that help you develop your skill set.
Okay. I first started playing football, I think I was 5 years old. I played for my cousin's team, but I always looked up to my brothers who played before me, and they used to train with my dad a lot, and I always wanted to go, and that just made me want to be better at football.
All right, excuse me, I'm cutting you off for a minute. You say your cousin. Always talk about who these people are, because the audience don't know who they are. They don't know who your brothers are. They don't know who your cousin is. Give them their props.
My brother, Derek Strozier, he played for Tulane and went and played for the Saints for a little bit. And my cousin, that's just my cousin who runs the football team.
What's the name of the team?
We was called the Tigers.
Tigers?
Yes.
Was that here in Kansas City?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead with your story.
So I always watched my brothers grow up and play football, and that made me want to play. And I continued to play all the way up to high school, and then I started to go back to my brother and train with him. And I always looked up to him. I wanted to be better.
Which one? I think you have two brothers.
Derek, my brother Derek.
All right. And what position did he play?
He was a DB, and he was a DB and a running back in high school. Then he switched over to just DB and at Tulane.
All right. So you've been at Center High School all 3 years. You're a junior now?
Yes.
Tell me about your freshman season.
My freshman year, I just played JV.
What position?
I was a slot receiver.
Slot receiver?
Yes.
How much playing time did you get?
I started every game.
All right. You put up any numbers that the people want to know about?
Yeah, I had a couple touchdowns. It wasn't that big.
Well, hey, there were some players on that JV squad that didn't even get no playing time, I imagine.
Yeah.
So this is an interview on you. You got to tell the coaches and the people that don't know what you do a little bit about yourself. So your sophomore year, what was that looking like?
My sophomore year, I didn't really get that much playing time. I still played. I couldn't tell you.
Oh, you should be able to tell me. You should know whether your skill set was where it needed to be or what you need to be improved on. Run it down.
Yeah, I do feel like I had to improve on my catching, and so I still played JV, but I also played varsity too.
All right. What was it like when you started your first varsity game? How did you feel?
Nervous.
Tell our audience, yeah.
I was very nervous.
How did you play?
I feel like I did a good job. I just did everything they told me. I didn't really make no big plays or nothing.
How many games into the season before you gained your confidence?
I had to say the second game.
Second game?
Yeah.
You the jitters was over?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying you going through, I think before you came on, I said look at a couple of the interviews. You're going through the same experience that all of them stars went through. When I asked them what was it like when they first started, it's like the shakes, but once you settled in. So when did you know that you felt you had reached another level that no more JV for you?
When nobody could really guard me in practice. I just started to do good at practice, and I was like, yeah, I feel like I can do this.
Did you see a different attitude in your teammates and your coach towards you?
Yes.
What did that feel like?
It felt good that I got the
recognition.
Yeah.
What your brothers say?
They said that I'm doing good, that I could play for college football. I just need to keep working.
All right. With Cascade Sports being home of the student athlete, how important is your education to you?
Very important. I had to make sure my grades are good so I can play the game.
How do you feel your parents see you as a student athlete and as a son?
I think they see me as a good student athlete and a son.
Good man. Have you set any goals for yourself this season? Personal numbers or personal things that you would like to achieve?
Yeah, me and my dad made a goal to get 10 touchdowns by the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. Where are you at on that?
I'm not that close. I only got like 4 or 5.
How did you play in that quarterback position?
I did good. I was only in for 1 possession, and we drove down the field and we scored.
You scored?
Yes.
Oh, all right. So, who do you have up, and who were you playing when you played quarterback?
My first time playing quarterback in the game was against Odessa, but then he had came back in for the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. But my first time playing for a whole possession was against Lincoln.
Oh, all right. That's where I started my company, like 14 years ago, 13 years ago at Lincoln Prep. And and you scored on them?
Yes.
Oh, let's put that in the books, because they've been terrorizing everybody. Besides the 10 touchdowns, what else do you want to do? 10 touchdowns. You don't have I want to do 1,000 yards. I want to do 500 yards. Or do you play on kick return?
Yeah, I used to, but then they took me off once I started to play quarterback.
Yeah, they don't want you getting hurt.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself going next year?
Next year, I feel like that's gonna be my best year. I'm gonna work harder. I'm gonna start going down to my brother and work with the people that he used to work with at college, just to get better.
The season is basically closing out. Am I wrong? Oh,
yes.
Yeah. All right. So that's why I asked you what's happening next year. I think from your interview, you found the really newfound confidence in yourself. You really seeing I can do this, as you said. On a 1 to 10, where's your leadership skill set? Are you developing? Yeah. Are you developing into a leader?
I'm still developing. I'm usually one of them quiet players who just sit back and play, but I'm starting to become more of a leader.
Right. Well, you have some leaders show by example, some a little more verbal, some have both of those talents, showing and being a little vocal. In closing, what would you have to say to a young freshman athlete what they need to do to get on the right track to success?
Just keep working and listen to your coaches. Do everything they say to get on their good side so that they can feel like they trust you and can put you in.
How important is that trust?
Very important. If they can trust you, they might not want to play you.
Talk to them about the academic side, what they need to be doing if they plan to follow in your footsteps. And most athletes' footsteps is you a junior getting ready to to finish out the season, what they need to be doing academically?
You need to stay on top of your grades. Make sure you have a good GPA and a good ACT score.
All right. Hey, it was a plum pleasing pleasure to have you on the show, JJ. And we look forward to coming out there and covering one of your games. Do you play any other sports?
I run track.
All right. Now you in my lane. I used to run track, and one of my teammates, John Carlos, 1968, held his fists up with the black glove, iconic track. What do you run in track?
I run the 400 and the 4x4.
Oh boy, both of us. That's what I ran. I ran the 400 meter. Well, it was the 440-yard dash back in the 60s. Now it's 400 meters. What kind of times are you putting down?
At first, it was pretty high, but I'm bringing them down to low 50s now.
All right. Hey, I started off as a sophomore running 60 seconds. But when I was a senior, I ran 49 flat. And that was in the 60s. But that confidence that I see in you and your story, that was the same way with me. You know, the more you have success, the more emboldened you say, I can do this. And we wish you the best. And as we always say at Cascade Sports, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. But for all you footballers, we say Cascade Sports, we don't just bark, we bite.
This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.